All right, welcome back to Taking a New Approach. I am so grateful to be on the mic again. I always say this because you never know when it's your last day, and attitude of gratitude is usually how I'm living, So I'm just grateful to be here. I am appreciative of all of you who have clicked on this video, those of you who have subscribed, liked, shared any other videos. I don't care if it's 10 views, 100 views, 1,000, whatever it is. Thank you so much. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and like I always say, and share this. But the universe does not make any mistakes. You are here for a reason. And if you're finding this, you're probably on the path of looking into the deeper knowledge of finding out your purpose, why you're here. And I'm just the messenger, right? I'm just a tool for the universe to connect with you and let you relay something to you that you might need on your journey right now. Okay. We're all about self-love, self-care here, being gentle with ourselves, and also moving forward and taking a new approach to life, because everything is, the physical world no longer exists, in my opinion, right? It's all about being spiritual, to really guide yourself and really get to the place where you are manifesting the things that you desire in your life, right? And the ways that you want to feel within your life, creating that reality. Okay. So I'm just going to get right into it. I was showering a little bit earlier, right? Hopped out. Don't worry, I got clothes on. Don't worry. But I was thinking in the shower, because sometimes I usually do affirmations when I'm in the shower. I try to, I do my best to basically make sure we do our best. So I do my best to make sure I do affirmations in there, or use my time wisely as much as possible, right? Always constantly trying to make sure that I am always staying at a high vibrational type of thing, energy or frequency. And what came to me when I was in the shower, I started to think about, it was crazy because I was like, what? This is random. I started thinking about exes. And then all of a sudden, I just started to be like, you know what? Things that happen or past experiences. But then I realized, I was like, you know what? I just felt good about it. I didn't have hate about the memories, right? A little annoyance, but no hate. And I thought about it, and I blessed all of them, right? Ain't a ton of them, but I blessed all of them. And I send them love, right? That's one way that if you having negative feelings or thoughts about someone, you just bless them and send them love. Keep saying that. Bless you. I'm telling you, it definitely works. I did it a lot in the beginning, right? And so the one thing I realized is that the hate in my heart was gone. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is about you have to release the hate in your heart if you really want to move forward in life. You can no longer hold on to that hate of whatever it is, whether you failed at a business, whether you failed and you're not where you think you should be in life, or you failed in picking partners, or you failed in being a mother or a father or a brother or uncle. Whatever it is that you're going through, apply it to whatever you're thinking about. You have to release that hate. So many of us, and it's so prevalent nowadays, right, to have a hater or a troll on social media, right? Or you do something positive, they want to just tear you down, but that's okay. See, when you have love and when you're, resonating at that frequency of real love, all that don't matter. And you have to focus on how can I keep myself in that frequency of love. See, sometimes you have to be selfish, but not selfish in a way that no one benefits from it. being selfish in a way that if you better yourself, you can do no wrong to other people. You're only bettering them because now they get to see a better example. Like I've said many times in some of the podcasts, is you never know who's watching you and what they're learning from you and what type of influence and inspiration you are providing to people. And when you have hatred in your heart, people pick up on that, right? Like, it's a shame that we have so much hatred, right? And there's a lot of love, but there's hatred, and you might be struggling right now and figuring out like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Why am I not seeing any progress, right? It might be because you have hatred in your heart still for your parent, right? Like growing up, I was disappointed a lot, right, by my mother, right? And this, or like getting gifts and quantifying our loves by gifts and things, right? The misconception. And when you're in that type of mindset, right, you can start to evaluate someone off the wrong standards. And since and evaluating someone off the wrong standards, you start to build up this hatred, this envy, this jealousy. And I built up hatred because, I couldn't live like the other kids were living, or I felt, neglected, and some rightfully so, some not so much. Right? Because I didn't understand what it meant to be a parent caring for 4 kids, and you're trying to still live your dreams, and you're still trying to, do what you think is best for yourself, and not having that perspective until I'm older now and I'm living it, right? But I realized that if I was to move forward, if I was to help people, if I was to inspire people, I couldn't have hatred in my heart for someone who birthed me, who decided to keep me, right? Who helped me in many ways, regardless of what people want to deem a great mother as, right? Or a great father as in this society. Like, you have to learn that at the end of the day, it's only killing you. It's only eating you up. My grandmother used to always tell me, like, boy, you better stop holding them grudges because it's only killing you. She used to always say that when I would get angry, because I would hold stuff in and I would be so mad and I want to get you back and I want to hurt you just as much as you hurted me and all these things. And I realized that when you carry that type of stuff, it not only gets in spiritually, but physically, it wears you down. Like, I want to get real with you right now. If you're listening to me, I want to get real with you right now. Like, when I was, coming into where I am now, like the bitterness of growing up, like I grew up on the south side of Chicago. If you don't know anything about Chicago and many places, if you're around the world, wherever you are, it's very segregated, right? Like, blacks here, whites here, Hispanics here, Puerto Ricans, well, it might be Mexicans over here, Puerto Ricans over here. And then, if you got some international folks like Africans or Saudi Arabia, like Middle Eastern, they all up north or on these different parts of the city. Super segregated, right? So my perspective was a little bit skewed on how life looked around the world and just around the United States. Like, when I finally got to college, I didn't realize people knew other races other than themselves. Like, I mistaked a couple of Dominicans just to be just regular black, just regular African American, history of that and everything, right? And I didn't understand that. And everything was kind of like standoffish, right? Like, oh, well, these people do that and these people do that. And that built up a lot of resentment and hatred. And it didn't allow me to fully, but I was grateful, and I was a person who was always curious. So I never stopped myself from learning, right? But sometimes I did stop myself from experiencing more because I was like, oh, well, I don't do that. I'm supposed to hate that. I'm supposed to not like that. And I really want people out there who's listening to this to really get this in your mind and in your spirit, that you don't have to hate to get ahead in life. You don't have to hate to feel like you have protection. Like, when people do you wrong, that's on them. And I know it sucks, especially when you're dealing with an ex, or you're dealing with emotions and stuff of that nature, or family, when they cut you deep or rob you of money or something, whatever it is. I'm not saying they right, but also you got to realize that you have the power to move forward. And if you can stay positive in a negative situation, you win. It might not be the winning that they tell you on television and on social media, like, oh, you win when they fail. No, you win when you succeed, and when you dictate how you will feel every day when you wake up. This is why this is called Taking a New Approach, because like, we have yet to really see when people are just focused on how can I dictate my life for the best and for my higher self. Most people are always constantly just focused on, oh, well, you know, like, this person's doing this, this person's doing that, this person's doing this. And don't get me wrong, like, I've done it too. It's a part of learning. Like, but at the end of the day, you have to realize it is only for a moment in time. Everything shall pass. Like, everything shall pass. You know, just thinking about, I don't care what it is, think about a time where you maybe didn't get the grades you wanted in school, and how sad you felt about it. Maybe you didn't make a basketball team, or you didn't get the guy or girl you wanted. And now think about right now. Did you ever get any more happy moments after that? Like, you definitely did. You definitely did. So it's always about being present. And to get that hate out your heart, you really have to come to the point where you forgive yourself first. I had to forgive myself for not being understanding, not having compassion, right? Enough compassion to understand that we're all going through something. No one is better than anyone else. Some people have different talents and they're great at what they do, and you have something to offer as well. But as long as you look at yourself as less than, as long as you keep hating on yourself, then you will never be able to get the life that you deserve. It's just that simple. Stop hating on yourself. Stop worrying about, okay, well, they're going to say this, they're going to say that. So what? This is for me too. Like, don't think that, oh, he got it together. Like, no one has it all together. We're all learning. We're all growing. I look at other YouTubers. I learn from a lot of people. I'm just a curious little mind, right? And I just want a lot of knowledge. I had to really understand who I was and understand my spiritual gifts. Understand why I was here. Why am I so into, this hidden mystic type knowledge, right? And I figured it out. And whatever it is for you, you don't have to be me. I'm not saying you have to be this person. I'm just trying to show you that you don't have to have hate in your heart just because someone did you wrong. And having hate in your heart is causing you not only mental issues, right? Like, you're not able to have that mental peace you need, but it's also causing you problems physically. They have shown how your emotions and stuff like that. Like, I remember when I was growing up, if you cry, like, stop crying so hard, you're going to get sick. You're going to make yourself sick. And I remember I would doing something bad, got a whooping, and I'll be crying all hard. The deep pauses where, you can't breathe for a few moments because you didn't been whooped so hard. And you're over there trying to catch your breath, like, and all that, like, yeah, all that. and I would just start coughing and making myself sick. Because your emotions and your feelings and all those things, it does affect your body. Like, we're energy. So as you are moving in this world, what hatred do you have in your heart? I'm not saying agree with stuff just because, hate means that I have to not hate means I have to agree with something. No, that's not what I'm saying here. So if you think that's what I'm saying, that is not what I'm saying. And hopefully you made it to this part so that you don't leave a comment saying, I'm not agreeing with this or that. You don't have to agree with anything. It's your world. But, right? That but. But you also don't have to go out your way to make it harder for folks. You also don't have to go out your way to just be as mean as possible because you're hurting. And that's what hatred in your heart is doing. That's why we have so much animosity on the mainstream television and things of that nature. Because hate will divide. Hate is good for business in the way that business is run. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to inspire people to go about it differently. Why we can't love, why we can't all get money, why we all can't be happy. No, everybody don't get the same thing because everything comes with different responsibilities. Some of you are not ready to be bosses. Some of you don't want to be a boss because you don't want the stress of running your own business. You don't want to be responsible for this and that and the third of other people's lives as well if you're hiring people. But that's where it comes in, as you have to understand what's best for you. And when you understand what's best for you, now you can start to move in that essence. You can start to move in that path where you don't have to worry about I got to figure out, this person said I should do this. That was a lot of my learning. They said, you should invest in this, or you should do this, or you should do that, and you should do this. And you realize this is, I don't really feel for this. I'm all about be passionate about what you're doing. Doesn't mean that every day you get up and you're just beaming with joy. But it means when you're in that action for 80 to 90% of the time, when you're doing that action, you are satisfied, you are happy, you feel at peace, you feel that it's right. Not think, but feel that it's right. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the feeling. And so it's 80 to 90% of the time that you are doing what you're doing, you feel satisfied. You feel at peace. You feel fulfilled. You feel appreciation. You feel gratitude. If you can't say that about what you're doing, then that's okay. Maybe your job is just for you to just make the money that you want. But then you have a hobby that you really do, that you really love, and it fulfills you. And that's all it is to it. And that's how you live your life. You don't have to turn the hobby into this. You don't have to leave that job if you don't want to. But if you want something where you're making money and you want to feel fulfilled doing it, and you don't feel fulfilled 80 to 90% of the time, then that means you need to change it. Right? And that's what I mean. Fear hate is a form of fear. You have to understand that hate is a form of fear. So that's why I said don't hate on yourself, because if you feel that you are going to fail, then you're hating on yourself. Who you going to bet on in this world? If they said, okay, we're going to give you all the skills in the world, whoever you choose, we're going to give all the skills in the world to come save you. You can either give it to yourself or you can give it to somebody else to save your own life. Who you going to give it to? You're going to give it to yourself, because you're going to save yourself. You're not going to give it to somebody else. It's understandable. Mama might help. Your husband might help, your kids might help, but at the end of the day, it's you. They don't know what's going on through your mind. I don't know what's going, like, you can't see what's in my mind. You don't know the thoughts that I'm having every day. So you never know where a person is. That's why it's always so important to get that hate out your heart, because you never know when you're moving in a energy of gratitude, appreciation, joy, love, happiness, that you're helping someone. All we need is one. Just one. We don't need 17 million. All you need is one, and that's you, yourself. All you need is one, and that's you. To decide that you are better, that you decide that you deserve better. That's it. Your higher self is always with you. It's up to you to start to listen. So many people have the hatred in their heart because they're not listening. And I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I'm not judging them. I'm letting you know what the reality of what, when we wake up and we're walking in this, this culture, right? Like I said, I'm here to inspire, never judging. But if you want to live a better life and you're not satisfied where you are, it doesn't mean that you're not on the right path. It might just mean that, okay, I still got some work to do. Do you love the way you look? I was seeing some person on Instagram. I can't remember his name. I think it was Charlie something. I forgot. But he was talking about how he couldn't look at himself in the mirror because he was overweight and all this other stuff. And I understood his pain. I went through it. Weight has always been an issue. Gotten better over the years. Now that I've invested and taken more time out, but it still fluctuates here and there. But it was interesting because it was like he was telling these people, you're exposing yourself. You expose yourself and your weight loss, your shirt off, all on things, and you still was unhappy with himself. Like, I couldn't imagine just being overweight when I was and just like, oh, take my shirt off and put it on, and you just see me on Instagram with millions of people or television and all this. Oh, hell no. You out of your mind. I ain't about to be embarrassed. You crazy. And it's crazy because it's still a fear. Even with all the knowledge this man has of quantum mechanics and all this stuff, physics, he still has hate in his heart for himself. Because there ain't no way in hell if you could show yourself like he shows himself and you still don't, and you're still embarrassed about yourself. That's where it goes, where you got to get the hate out because it's fear. And now it's just mental. It's in the subconscious. You don't like yourself. You're hating on yourself. Hate doesn't always have to be where it's trying to kill somebody. Hate could just be your negative thoughts. Sometimes we create hate in our life. We walk in a room and some people like, oh, okay, well, I don't like that person. You're already starting to bring the hate towards yourself, or you're already looking at a person side eye. There's nothing wrong with having discernment. But it's also a way that when you walk in, how many people are expecting greatness? How many people are expecting miracles? How many times have you woke up and expected something great to happen to you? That's a great way to start. Even if nothing happens or something goes wrong, how many of you have woken up every day, set the intention that a miracle is going to happen in your life, that something great is going to happen in your life, that everything, all is well in your life, that the bills are going to get paid this month? Right? Or little Johnny need them shoes. Somehow, some way he gonna get them shoes. Or if something is gonna work out where he don't even need the shoes, he could wear the ones you just bought. This is what I'm talking about. And you can't start to expect those things if you have hatred in your heart. Get the hate out. That's for you to decide. You want coaching on it? It's all in the description box, right? Like, If you want to figure it out yourself, you just want to email it, it's all on you. If you need to just go ahead and meditate, like I'm telling you, the more and more I get deeper and deeper, the more meditation just becomes essential. Learning how to breathe and how to do different things, like it becomes essential to really mastering yourself. If you want happiness, you have to learn to release the controls that people have attached on you and you have allowed them to attach on you through your experiences. And I get it. There's a lot of things that can make you upset that you see and that your experience have told you, no, I hate this person. I hate that person. I hate this experience. I hate that. I get it. But you only win when you can move forward. That's the whole game. Is they understand, like whoever created it, they understand that your experiences are what's going to be logged into your subconscious. And until you understand how your subconscious works, until you understand how your feelings are affecting you and how you are a big antenna basically to vibrate out and broadcast a certain frequency, until you understand those things, you're going to keep getting the same reality. You're going to keep holding the hate. You're going to keep being lazy. You're going to keep procrastinating. You're going to keep doing these things because all your memory is going to say, and muscle memory is going to say, and everything else is going to be like, oh yeah, you ain't ready for this. You remember when you did this, you failed bad. Don't try it. You have to keep going. Never give up. Anything that's built that is sufficient that you want to buy, it took time. They didn't come up with the iPhone in 2 days. That was 10 years maybe before they even released it. The first one. They are constantly working on probably technology we won't even see until 20 years from now. Right now. So don't worry about, okay, you might slip up and might still be angry. Yeah, you're going to be, it was some days I had some real conversations with myself. I ain't going to lie. I had some real conversations with my life and got down on myself and hated on myself and was hard on myself. It's a part of the journey. So, but the goal is that every day it was about getting back to my equilibrium. There we go. The equilibrium of, I can't even say the word right now, sorry. But I was getting back to just being back to my higher self, back in touch with, in the vortex, as Abraham was saying. There we go. That's what I was looking for, the vortex. And it's basically getting back to where your true power is. If you want to look up Abraham Hicks, you can look it up and figure out vortex. Or maybe I'll go and kind of express that a little bit more in another episode. But it was, the whole goal was just to be balanced. Right? Just to be balanced. That's all you're trying to do every day, is just be balanced and go in that effort. You don't have to struggle about it. If something doesn't work out, it's okay. You're not wrong. That's just a little tip that's just a tip for you to be like, okay, well, I know that this triggers me. I know that I need to not do that because I didn't like the result I got. Okay, cool. Okay. It's all right. Still not an awful person. Still a great person. But I really want you to think about, how have you had hatred in your heart as you move forward, whether it's towards a coworker, your own children, the person who might have done you wrong. Because that's your key to your real freedom. If you're able to get that hatred out your heart for those moments, and I'm not saying it's all going to leave in one day. I'm not saying that that it's just going to be just a little skip in the park. Like, no. But if you're willing to work on it and you're willing to give yourself that opportunity and you're willing to say you love yourself, then you will give yourself that chance, because change is not hard. It's the resistance to change that is hard. And that's like, I believe that's some Buddhism or a Buddha quote. Like, change isn't hard. It's the resistance to change that is hard. And it's so true. Some people want to stay negative. Some people want to be in chaos. Some people just, they love it. That's how they function. Because that's all they know. Or it feels weird to be outside of it because they don't want to be exposed. They know that it's easy to be mean. It's easy to be rude. It's easy to have no respect. But when you hold yourself to a higher level and higher frequency, when the rest of a lot of people aren't doing it, it's going to be difficult. You're going to be some times where you're just going to be like, man, I don't really see where, there's not a lot of people that talk about this. That's okay. That's why you have the internet. There's people out there. It's just about you deciding, how do you want to be involved? If you don't see it, it's opportunity there to create it. Everybody always want to run around, and if you didn't have hatred in your heart, you could be doing great things because you will be looking at everything as an opportunity. Okay, there's not a group that I see here that's like on the same frequency as me. Why not create it? Why not create an online platform for it? It's up to you. Take that idea, run with it. But it's up to you first to help yourself. And that's what I really want you to understand with this one, is that you have to get the hatred out your heart, because once you do that, a lot of things will start to go the way that you dreamed it will go, and life will be so much easier for you. And it took me a while. And I'm still learning. I'm still not perfect. So don't think that I'm talking from a high place. I'm me. I know who I am. I'm learning more and more every day about who I am, and growing every day in that, in confidence. But at the same time, I'm still learning as well. No one out here is perfect. So I hope this message reaches you in peace, love, and kindness. If no one told you today, I love you. You are deserving. You are worthy. And keep working. I'm proud of you. All of you who have listened, even if you only listen 5 minutes and you're not even listening anymore, I'm proud of you. Because it takes a lot to work on yourself. And if you just recognize and you have that self-awareness, that's going to work, and that's going to help you a ton. Just being self-aware, even if you're not changing right away, just having that self-awareness is key. Because a lot of people don't walk around with that, or they try to ignore it. But it only hurts them even more. So get the hatred out your heart. Come with love. There's tons of books on it. Focus on it. Don't run to people to try to distract yourself from it. Even though sometimes being with people with good energy can help you get that hatred out your heart. That's one way to do it. Gratitude list, like I always say, affirmations. Surrounding yourself with, I have to think about it, surrounding yourself with just positive music, getting into hobbies, like start to live. I think like my next episode is going to be like, don't ask for permission to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, just live. Okay? And enjoy life. Because like I said, it's not promised tomorrow. That's why I'm always grateful when I'm doing these podcasts and I'm able, and that's why I bring that energy in the beginning, because I am really grateful and appreciative. So thank you. I'll talk to you on the next episode. I love you all. Please subscribe. love offerings, donations, email me, comment on the video, like the video so we can see me more and be more in recommendation parts of the YouTube and stuff so we can grow the channel, grow the positivity, and also just grow and help inspire people. Because that's all that matters to me. Like I've said before, I don't care if I inspire just one person or a million people. Like my job that's what I'm here to do. I love what I do when I do this. Okay? So I love you, and I will talk to you on the next episode. So bye.